Okay, I have the project open. Today we'll create an enemy and maybe some traps, and also we'll add some UI for the player health. And after that we'll add sound effects, background music, maybe the possibility to select a level, and maybe even a speedrun mode where we um, measure the time. But first I want to explain something about the coroutine. Let's go to a level and we need the player script. Let's go to scripts, player controller. Let me explain something about the coroutines. That is very important. Okay, let's find the coroutine. For example, this one, get hit coroutine. So let me explain how this for works. So this is a loop. First of all, it happens multiple times. We have a variable called t, which is a float, meaning it is a real number, and this float exists only in the loop. Uh, we give it 0 starting value, and it goes from 0 to 1, and every time, every loop, it increases by the time. This is the time between frames, this value here. And this code here, yield return null, means you wait one frame. Okay, you can also use this command, yield return wait for seconds, and then you specify the number of seconds, like this. Sorry, wait, sorry, new wait for seconds, like this. So you can either wait one frame or a specific amount of time. And you must be very careful when you use while. You always, if you use a while loop, you always have to return you need to wait a frame or a number of seconds, otherwise it enters an infinite loop and the game crashes. Okay.
Uh, what's the difference with using yield return and return? If that's, yeah.
I'm not sure. What is the difference, but to be completely honest, I don't understand what this yield means. But
Oh,
the whole code means you wait one frame. I'm not
okay.
an expert.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha. Yeah.
So now that I explained the coroutine, let's decide what we want to do. Let's first create the UI. want to do this in player controller, I downloaded some um, sprites for the UI in here somewhere. This one, let me open it. See, use the red one, and the maximum amount of life will be 4, not 3. And I recommend when you have when you make a game with that has levels, uh, you want first to uh, add everything at the UI and all the mechanics first before you copy and create another level, because if you want to modify, if you create another, if you duplicate a level and then you want to add something, you have to modify both levels. So now, because we want to modify the level, we'll delete level 2. Go to level 1, disable the background, not the background, the canvas. Let's add the UI. Let it fade out. Fade out, okay. Be a simple image. Let's find the sprite. Okay. And now we check preserve aspect and resize it. And let's call this health UI. Move it to the corner. To go in scene to an object, you just double click on an object in the hierarchy, like this. Have it here somewhere, like this maybe. But I don't like how it looks. I don't like how it looks, but I don't have other sprites. Okay, when you have a UI like this, you want it to stretch, to adapt to every resolution. To do this, you need to specify anchors, but I don't remember how. Here, this one. These are the anchors. You have some presets for anchors for for the edges or the middle, but we don't only want it to be in the corner, we want it to stretch depending on the resolution. Now that we have this, let's go to player. We'll have 1, 2, 5 sprites. Public sprite health UI sprites and we need the image but we can't use it because we don't have the library engine. Health UI. But the problem is we can't do this in the player script because we start the scene without the player. So we'll do this in the level manager. I just copy paste this here. Okay, let's find the sprites and the UI. Add them to the level manager, but I wrote this incorrectly. This needs to be an array. Okay, size 5, then okay, and the UI, drag the UI here. Let's create a function for this. Or no, we don't need a function. Let's go to there. Let's find the hit function. When we get hit, increase the health. Then we check if it's 0. No, we don't need to check. Just level manager health UI sprite is equal to level managers health UI sprites, and this will be equal to the health. I see that we did not create a loose function, the loose condition. If it's 0, then maybe we want to show some buttons for restarting the level or going to main menu. Let's create that. Need 2 buttons. Let's make it up. Text white. Let's go to restart button. Size it a little bit. Let's make the image transparent a little. Create an empty object. Buttons anchor, place it in the middle. Now we have the restart button. Let's create a just Control D to duplicate. This one will be main menu button. Modify the text. Reposition this. Let's set the anchor for the buttons. And one thing that you must know, this anchor for the buttons is relative to the parent, which is this one buttons anchor. So anchors are relative to their parents. Disable this, and let's add this object. Let's call it button holder. Go to level manager, add this here, public game object button holder. Do we have a function for going to the main menu? No. Let's create a function for that. We'll just copy this one, twice, once for this restart level, and instead of this we load the same level. Instead of +1 we just leave the level number. Then we have the restart function. Copy paste this again, go to main menu. Instead of this, write main menu. And I like to create a function that starts these enumerators, because I believe we might get an error if we start this from another script, and it's also simpler to write. So we have restart level, copy paste this, copy paste this again. This one is start, go to main menu. And let's check if we have the button holder. We have it. We want, when the player is dead here, if health is 0, to enable this object that holds the buttons. Button holder, this is set active true, and we want to add the functions from the level manager, the restart and the go to main menu. We want to add these to the buttons. Go to the restart buttons, select the scene, find the level manager, and the function is start restart level. And let's do the same for the other button. Okay, let's check if it works. Make it full screen. Let's check the UI first. See, it works. Seems to work very nice. Variable button holder is not have an error. Forgot to add the button holder to the level manager. Also, let's check the UI. I think I added this incorrectly. Okay, I see what the problem is. Let's go to prefabs, player, and this needs to be 4 here. Ahead. So 4. Okay, let's go to the level manager, add the button holder here. And I wanted to ask if you want me to create a dash effect for the player.
Sorry, dash? Like
So to sort of increase the speed for a small amount of time, and also add a trail
oh,
behind him.
sure.
Okay.
That'd be sick. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Okay, let's first check if the UI and the loose condition works. The UI works great. Let's see if we die. Yes, but we forgot to add the death effect, and also the player is still here. I don't know why. Let's try the buttons. Restart. Yes, they work. They work, but they are above the fade out effect. So let's move it above in the hierarchy. And also let's see why the player doesn't disappear. Okay, I see. You just need to copy this here from the win condition. Let's see. We want to disable the collider, velocity 0, disable the image, and the spawn. That effect, but we called it spawn effect. This one we don't need. Just add this here. Let's try again. And after that, if it works, we will try to create a dash effect. See, now it works. Let's check the other button. See, also now it is below the fade. Okay, let's try to make a dash effect. This one. Let me first let me show you how it looks in a game I made in the past. This one. This game was for a game jam, which is a game making competition that lasted 3 days. And also, probably I won't hear you because it's very loud sound. This is what I want to make. To do this, we need to have an object for the trail, which is a sprite, a 2D sprite. So let's game object 2D sprites, 2D sprites, anything. Let's call this player trail. Let's add one frame from one frame from the player animation. Go to resources, assets, player character, this one, idle, let's say. Okay, now I have the trail. We'll add a script to it called just player trail. Okay. Let's open the script. We need the sprite renderer, and we don't need to make this public, private. Sprite renderer. Okay, at the start of the when the trail spawns, we need to put the sprite renderer in the variable is equal to get component right. Okay, don't need update. Need to create a coroutine. Hold on. Let's just use the coroutine. Add public. Call this rotate. Hey. Now how to icon it inside this. And we need a duration for the trail to disappear, so let's call this float trail duration. plus duration. Now let's copy that fade script. Okay, so instead of time here we change to duration, and we want to modify the transparency of the sprite. So to do this we say sprite renderer color equal to new color. We maintain the colors red, green and blue. Red, sorry, color red, green, blue. And for the transparency we need to loop from 1 to 0. Here we have this t that goes from 0 to 1 in a certain amount of time. The duration, let's say it's 1 second. Okay, but as you know, because this is strictly smaller than 1, it will be almost transparent but not completely, so we need to make it completely transparent at the end.
Would not t less than equal to 1 or
It will,
t greater than a certain value fix it?
so
Could it work like that?
I did not understand the question, but because the condition here is strict, it's strictly smaller than 1. If I put equal here like this, then also I believe it will be bigger than 1. It will not be exactly 1 because we uh, are working with time. So can you repeat the question again? I did not understand.
Yeah, if we use values equal than or greater to 1, would that account for would that make it fully
No.
transparent?
In this case,
Oh,
no.
okay.
In this case, no. But I believe we don't need to uh, make it completely transparent. We can just delete it
Ah, okay.
directly. We don't need to do this. Destroy game object. And at the start, we want to start this coroutine. Okay. Yep. So in 1 second, the transparency will become 0, and then we destroy this sprite. Now that we have the trail, we go to prefabs, which are the saved object. In effects, we save this trail here, delete it from the scene. We go to player controller. We create another coroutine. Okay, let's create a bool first. Private bool. How to call this? This is dash. Let's call this. It's false by default. And let's create a coroutine for this. Private. And one thing to mention: if you write private, you don't need to write private. You can just leave nothing, and it is considered private. Let's call this dash. Or we can try to call it this way. Coroutine. And now we want to increase the speed for a certain amount of time. to do this, let's check our code to see how movement works. We have the physics in fixed update, and the velocity is move direction times move speed. So if you increase the move speed, it should be instantly visible. So let's say move speed, it's move speed. There are two ways to write this. One is like this, times 2. Let's create a float move speed move multiplier. Let's use this. So you can write it like this or like this. I believe.
Isn't it the other way around?
Yes, but
Multiply equal. Sorry, I'm just asking.
I
Multiply
don't know, but
equals or
we have an error for some reason. Let's see if this the problem. When you make a coroutine, you are forced to wait a frame. You must wait a frame or a certain amount of seconds, otherwise it gives you an error. But I don't see why this is a problem. Use of unassigned variable. But we okay. Let's give it a value. I guess. Move multiply. Let's say 2. Now this line here works, but this not. Maybe I have to put this first. Yes, this was the problem. So these are the same. This line and this line are the same. I keep a shorter one. So we take a move speed and multiply it by a move multiplier, which is we need to test to see which one works best. Now we need a duration for the effect. So let's say float the effect, let's call it dash duration, is equal to uh, 1 second. Now that we have the duration, okay, we need to use this fade script once again. So this should happen for dash duration instead of time dash duration, and at a certain interval of time we want to spawn a trail. So to do this, we need to have a variable for this. Okay, so we call this float, how to call this, let's call this dash counter, and it starts in 0, and let's see, and okay, I think I need to think about this for a second, sorry. Okay, I think I know how to do this. Dash counter, it's equal, it's sorry, plus equal to time delta time, and if this counter is bigger than, say, 2 seconds, sorry, 0.2 seconds, then we want to do this, but I forgot what the prefab here. We need the prefab public game object player trail prefab. So it's time to spawn this at the player position, so transform position, the default rotation, but again like this. Okay, so every 0.2 seconds it will spawn. Let's make it smaller, and after we spawn, we reset this counter. Counter is equal to 0. We need to wait here. There is another way. There is another way to code this with the function that I talked about in the beginning. This one, yield return new wait for seconds, and then this we can use this also and code this completely different, but let's keep it like this for now. So now after the dash we want to stop the movement speed. So move speed is now equal, sorry, is equal to move speed divided by multiply. And also we want in the beginning of the coding to say is dash is 2, and at the end it's false. So we don't have we do this to not have multiple dash coroutines at the same time. Let's see where the controls are. Here it's alive. Move direction, okay. Here we check for jump. Let's check for dash. If input get key down, key code space, and also you want to check is dash is false, like this. Then just start the coding. Now we should have a dash effect, but first we need to go to the editor, go to the player prefab, let's go to the player prefab, let's go to the script, find the player trail prefab, and drag this here. And now when we press space we should have a increase in movement speed. See? We have a problem. I forgot to we need to go to the dash coroutine, and when we instantiate this we want to get the sprite renderer of the trail and change the sprite to this one, sprite renderer sprite. So I know this looks very long, but it's faster than writing multiple lines. So what this means is we instantiate the player trail at the player position, and then we get the component, the sprite renderer of the trail. We select the sprite and then assign the sprite of the player to the trail. Now it should look smoother, and also I think the time between the trails is too big. Let's go down here. See? And now I'm bugged for some reason. Let's pause and see what the problem is. Let's go to animator. We are in player idle, and let's go to the script. Jump count is 0 and it's bugged, but it shouldn't be because the jump count is 0 and also it's not jumping. Don't know why I have this problem. Go to the trail and the dash counter. No, not this one. This one. Make it shorter. So now we have a win condition and a lose condition. We have the UI. We have this dash effect. See, it's pretty nice. Now it should give an error because we don't have the level to be deleted. And also let's put this health UI here to be below the fade. We have a problem here, the error, because we deleted the scene. Okay, now let's create an enemy, and we'll create a little AI for the enemy.
Hey, tutor, can I clarify something, if that's alright?
Yes, please.
Back in the code,
Well,
so the get component dot sprite will get the player's position and the trail of the player, right? And it will assign it to sprite render dot sprite. Am I?
I will explain. So you're talking about this line of code here, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll explain again. So first, the first thing that happens, the trail is spawned, which, if you remember, let me show you the trail in the prefabs effects here. So the trail is an object with just the sprite renderer, a sprite renderer, which displays the image, and the image is called sprite. And we have the script that lowers the transparency to 0. And then after we spawn this trail at the player position, we get the sprite renderer of the trail, this component here, and that means if we put that after this, it means we are looking for a property of this component, which we're looking for this sprite here, which is the image that is displayed, and we make it equal to the current sprite of the player. Okay, is it clear? Or
Yes. Yep.
okay,
Okay.
let's
Thank you.
let's create enemy. Let's find the assets. Where is pixel adventure, and we'll also make a trap. And uh, after we finish, so we'll create a trap, an enemy, and after that we'll add sound. And after we finish this, I will send you the project. I will uh, put a link in Discord, and if you want, you can try to create yourself enemies and traps. And we'll continue to the next project because we have a ton of enemies and traps that we can make, but we won't make them all. Okay, let's go to terrain orders. No. Okay, I don't know why we don't have the enemies. Let's go to my favorite website for assets. Choose each assets. Let's search for animals. Okay, pixel. Search pixel animals. Here we need this one. How about this? Maybe we can save it in the project folder directly. Let's go to, no, let's just save it on desktop and drag and drop. Save to desktop. Let's go see. Okay, we have this here. Go to Unity, make it smaller, drag and drop. Need to drag this in the asset folder. Will take a second. Go to this one, enemies. Okay, we have a ton of enemies. Will do the snail. Do the snail. Let's create an empty object. Let's call this. Sorry. Create an empty object. Let's call this snail. We'll need sprite renderer. We need a box collider 2D. We need a box collider to the end. We need a rigid body. So I'm thinking we might need two colliders, and the problem is we need one collider to damage the player and one collider for the player to damage the enemy. And if you use rigid body, it will consider all colliders as one. So we can't do this. We need to have two separate objects. So we'll create another empty object. Call it snail. Let's put this in the middle. And inside this we'll have two objects. We call this let's call this enemy damage. another empty object, call this. You just call this snail again. Yes. Snail enemy damage. Yes, the same. We need a sprite renderer, box collider 2D. Also here in the enemy damage we need the box collider 2D. Let's go to our assets, snail, and let's select all of these, make them clear. This seems to be 24 times 24 pixels, but let's check. Yes, it is 38 times 38, sorry. Okay, now let's we want the hit animation, the idle, shell idle, shell hit, and the walk animation. This one we don't need. We don't need to hit effects. We'll take this one. Now let's split everything. Sprite editor. Sorry, I forgot. Let's select everything here and sprite mode multiple. Apply this. Now we can divide. And what almost, I suggest that almost never use automatic if you have multiple sprites of the same size. Do this, click by cell. Seems to be 38 times 38. Yes. Do this for each one. So, 38 times 34. Oh, okay. Go back to this one. Okay. This is a little bit more complex than the player. We'll have more animations and more complicated transitions. So let's let me think 1 second. If we need can you use a rigid body on the stem. Also, let's add another tag here called enemy. And also we want to have two separate scripts, one for the health of the enemy and one for the behavior, because we need to detect at collision and we can't have 10-20 tags for each enemy. We have just one called the enemy. Where is it now? Let's see. We want this to be in the same layer or render layer as the player, maybe. Okay, render x3. Okay, Okay, let's try this. Okay, now we see it. Where is it? No, we don't see it because we don't have a sprite here. Look at the idle. That's this here. See, now I have the. It is visible. Let's create the colliders. This one. Select the whole object. Okay. The enemy damage should be above. Sorry, not above. Below the top of the snail. Something like this. Let's flip it. Check the collider again. Seems okay. And we want a collider above this one. This one will check the enemy damage tag, and for the so this collider gives damage to the player, and this one here will damage the snail. Let's see both. Is smaller like this. Okay, we'll call this. We'll add the enemy tag here. So we have a tag for enemy damage and a tag for enemy. Now let's create a behavior. We want a rigid body on the snail component without gravity. And we also want the uh, the collider to be triggered. We don't want physics. Okay. We also want since it's trigger, we don't need to freeze the rotation because it will not interact with anything. Okay, now let's create two scripts for this. And before that, let's go to okay. Let's create a snake script for the behavior. We have a snake script, and we need health script where we simply save the HP of the snake. And connect these two scripts. Call this enemy. Simply enemy. Let's open this as well. Okay, this will be harder than what we made until now. Let's see, where is it? The snake script. Okay. But let's remove this here. Let's put it on the main object. Okay. Oh, sorry. Add this and enemy here. Okay, let's go to the snake script. We need okay, sprite renderer. You want the rigid body 2D, and we want an animator. I forgot to get it. The animator. Let's go to the interface and create on the snail here. Let's create an animator. Let's go to the animation folder, create an animation controller, call it snail, go to snail, add this here. Now let's create all the animations first before we go further. Animations, create. Okay, we have a snail idle. Let's go to the snail folder, idle. Let's look at the scene. Let's try 20 frames. Still too fast. Let's try 10. Now it's too slow. Let's try 15. Something like this, I think. Let's see the website. Maybe they have a suggestion for the animations. Let's see. There is Pixel Adventure. Let's see. All animations speed 20 frames. Let's see this site first. 20 frames. Okay. Seems a bit fast, but if they say so. Okay. Snail idle. Let's open the animation again. Try 20 frames. Select this one. It's a bit fast. Now let's create the snail run. Okay, not run. I guess snail walk animation. Control snail. Select the walk animation here. Grab all the sprites, drag and drop here. 20 frames. So check if it works correctly. Seems kind of fast. Let's check again. Okay, 20 minutes. All animation have 20 frames per second. Frames per second. Okay. So if you have 20 frames per second, set 10, maybe 12. Try 12. Okay. Now we need let's see. We need shell idle animation. Okay, so let's call this shell. Just shell. Okay. Make it slow as well. And now we need a heat animation. Snail heat. Grab all the sprites, drag and drop. 12 frames. This can be faster because it's a hit animation. Seems to work. Now that we have all the animations, let's think about the transitions. We have the idle, the walk, the shell, and the hit animation. Okay, so we want to go from idle to walk, from walk to idle, from idle to shell, from walk to shell. And also I forgot to add sorry, this is incorrect. We need to go to the animation again. Let's select this. Let's go to snail hit. This one is incorrect because this is while it is in sorry this is while it is in the shell, so you call this, we'll replace this, sorry, wrong animation. Let's find it. I'll hit this one, delete this, add this. Okay, and now we need another animation. We call it snail shell hit. Okay. Oh, we want transitions from idle to hit and from walk to hit. Okay. Okay, so we have from idle to shell. Okay, from walk to shell, and from shell to shell hit, and from shell hit to shell. I think let's add some parameters. We want to check if it's moving, so we'll have a bool for this is moving, and we want another bool for is shell. Okay, so from idle to walk, obviously, but before this let's uncheck if I can select multiple. Let's uncheck this has exit time, so that the animation is instant. It's not visually, there is no visual transition. And from idle to walk we want, sorry, this is still checked here. Okay, it doesn't let me do this because there is no condition. So from idle to walk we need is moving true. From walk to idle we need is moving false. Okay. Also, let's see, from you have from okay, so from this to idle it's false. From walk to shell uh, is moving is false. Or no, just is shell is true. This the same. From to hit, I don't think we need transitions here. We need from hit back to idle or walk, and sorry, I'm thinking this is complicated. Okay, let's create a new parameter called isHit, and if it's hit, then we go back to if let's make transition both ways. So from walk to hit, if it's hit is true, and back to walk if it's hit is false, and also if it is moving. From idle to hit, if it is hit is true, and from hit to idle, if it's moving, if it's false, and if it's hit it's false as well. From idle to shell, we want shell to be true, and also from shell to hit, shell hit, this hit must be true, and if it's false, if it's false, let's go back to shell. And we also want a transition from shell to idle or walk. And here we want two things: this moving is true and its shell is false. And here we want this moving false and is shell false. Now let's remove the exit time from all transitions. Now it should work because we have conditions. Let's clear this. Let's go back to this one. Will be complicated later. We'll use something new called raycast, which, as the name says, it's a kind of array. It's a straight line, but a straight line that is a temporary collider that lasts one frame. And the way we'll make this AI, okay, we'll make the snake walk towards the left, let's say, and when it reaches the edge, we detect the edge and we change the movement towards the other side. Okay, and also from time to time the snail will enter in the shell. Okay, and
Yep.
to do this, we need to have two positions, uh, and we'll check where by positioning the snail at the edge. So we'll have a let's call it raycast position, raycast position left. Okay, raycast position left. Let's see where this is. So we want this to be uh, First of all, we want this to be at the bottom of the snail and here at the edge, like this. And we create another one. Let's flip the sprite renderer, move this to the other side, do the same for the right side. Let's copy paste this somewhere here. We call this raycast position right. Now we have the starting position of the raycast, and maybe we might want to increase this, move it vertically a little. Okay. Let's go to the scripts. We have a sprite renderer, the rigid body, the animator. We need to get all this in the start function. But let's do this. Let's just copy paste this from here. It's faster. Like this. Paste this here. The box collider we don't need right now. The update function I don't think we need. So we'll have a couple states for this this enemy. One we'll call walk, and one we'll call shell. Enter. We'll call walk mode and shell mode. Okay. So we'll have a enumerator called walk mode. Okay, and let's see how we do this. Let's flip this. Now we have a problem here. See, we have we need to get this up, the son of the child of the sorry, son, the child of the main object, the snail. So let's get this object first. Let's call this game object snail. So this snail sorry, snail object, and here you get the components from the snail object, not from the parent object. Okay, and we also want this sorry. Oh, never mind. Okay, so we start let's say we start in this mode, in walk mode. Start coroutine walk mode. Okay, we need a move direction, public vector to move direction. Let's say it's let's go to our script. Let's say 1 second, it's not loading for soon. Let's say not all code paths return a value. Okay, this you need to have you need to wait a frame at least here, otherwise it gives you an error. Okay, move direction, let's say starts going towards the left side like this, but I have a problem with this collider. I don't know why it isn't following the. Let's check this too. Okay, we have a problem here. Okay, we have this here, it's correct. Let's add this here too. Okay, we want to have these positions in uh, in the script. So we need the public transform. Okay, let's see. Recast position left, public transform, recast position right. Okay, so we start in work mode. Uh, so we just okay, we'll first change the velocity, but we need the move speed, public float move speed. So let's just set the velocity to speed times move direction. Start like this, and if it's moving, then we also want to change the animation. Animator that set pull. Let's check how I called it. Is moving. Is moving. Is true. So let's comment here. Start moving. Okay, we started the movement, and after some time we want to stay idle. So let's create a variable here called float move duration. Says 2 seconds. Okay, and let's also create another float called walk duration, walk mode duration. Let's say it's 5 seconds. Okay, so we started the movement. Okay. Oh, we can do this way simpler. We don't need. We will have three modes: a walk mode, idle mode, and shell mode. So these last five. Sorry. Uh, okay, we need this outside this enumerator. We'll have this here. Walk duration 5 seconds, and we also want a float uh, walk counter. Let's say starts from 0. Not sorry, not like this. This is not correct. Let's copy paste this in the start function. Like this, and delete this. Okay, and let's get okay, move duration. Let's say float move counter is equal to 0, and say while move counter uh, move counter is smaller or equal, sorry, so if it's smaller than the duration, we since we are since we are in a while loop, we need to uh, wait a frame every time loop to this, and increase the move counter um, by time delta time, which this is the time between the frames. So uh, we wait a frame, then we add the time difference between the frames, and this happens probably hundreds of times per second. And after we reach the duration, the maximum, the duration of the walk mode, we transition to the idle mode. But uh, also, uh, if the waiting time, we want to increase this sorry, walk counter here. Also want to increase this by um, same by time delta time. And let's also check. So let's check if this walk counter it's bigger than the walk duration. So here we check if we enter the shell. Check if we enter shell mode. So if this is bigger, then we enter. Let's create another coroutine. Shell mode. We start this coroutine. Start coroutine. Shell mode. Okay. But and also after this, so we start this. Let me check the internet 1 second to see how to exit Unity C# exit coroutine. Let's see how to exit this coroutine. Okay, see, let's see. Yield seems to be yield break. We'll test this. So if if it's time to enter the shell mode, we use this yield break, I guess, and we exit this coroutine. And in shell mode, let's first create the so after 2 seconds of movement we want to enter idle mode. So if it doesn't enter the shell mode, at the end we want to start coroutine, which I have to create first, called idle mode, and we start this here at the end of the walk animation, walk mode, sorry. So in idle, the movement will be 0, is 0, which is vector 2 0. So let's comment this, stop movement, set animator bool, animator.setBool is walking to false. Okay, and let's save the coroutines in a variable. Let's call this coroutine, current coroutine. So instead of just start here, save this in a variable. To we'll need this later when we create the heat effect. We will need to stop all coroutines before entering the heat coroutine. Or never mind. I think we don't need this. Let's remove this. Maybe we need it, maybe we don't. We'll see. The walking animation stops. Then we wait for a period of time. We'll return new, wait 4 seconds. So instead of waiting frames, we wait seconds now. Say 1.5. And after that we return to the walk animation. But let's create a variable. We also want to check every frame if it's time to enter the shell mode. So we can't just wait 1.5 seconds. We need to check every frame. So we'll do the same. We'll try to copy the walk mode. Let's call this idle duration and idle counter. Duration should be, let's say 1. Counter starts 0. And we need a while loop. Let's just copy paste this here, but instead of move, it's idle. Walk seems okay. And if you go to the while without entering the shell mode, we need to return to the walk mode. So start routine walk mode. Now we need to check one thing.
Sorry, I don't mean to like interrupt, but are we usually until 12? I meant 7 p.m. your time?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Are we usually until 7 p.m. your time?
Yes, around 7 p.m. around that time. Yes.
Oh,
I can stay a little longer, maybe 7:30.
oh no,
If
sorry,
you have
I
time.
thought it's until like now. Sorry, I didn't
No, we can
expect.
stay until 7:30. Let's
No,
try
I mean
to finish this and we'll stop after this.
oh yeah,
Okay,
sure. Because I have to wake up early. It's pretty late. Sorry about
I
that.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
So how much would be okay to stay? 30 minutes, an hour?
It, yeah. 30 minutes if
30
that's
minutes.
okay.
Okay, okay. So okay,
Okay.
we have the walk mode, the idle mode, and the shell mode we need to create. But we also want to have a coroutine where uh, which we check if we are on the edge of a platform, and that coroutine should run should be permanent. Let's call this check. Sorry, Recast edge. We have the positions, but let's first uh, let's see the editor once again. We have these we need to save this here. Okay, now we let's copy paste some code from notepad here. This is for recasting. I will explain a second. Let's say let's create two variables: float, pause duration. Let's say it's 0.2 seconds, and also pause counter. We don't want to. You can recast every second if you want in the update function, and it will not create lag or any problems. But this is to learn to be efficient. If you have many uh, recasts, I recommend you don't do it every frame if it's not completely necessary. You wait a certain period of time because you want to. This is not. It doesn't matter, but it's good to learn to be efficient. The counter should be 0. Starts from 0. And now, uh, while while true, so it's an infinite loop. We wait one frame, and we add to this counter the time between the frames. So pause counter is let's add the time delta time, which is the time between frames, and then we check if this number is bigger than the duration, and if it is bigger we recast. But let me copy this. We recast. The length should be 1, the same as the tile of the platform. And but before this we also want to reset the counter. It's equal to 0. And since we are in a sorry, I'm wondering if we need to wait a frame here to will type. I guess we'll test. So this not laser length. Let's call this ray length, like this. Okay, so first we create the recast from a certain position toward a certain direction and with a certain length. So we have to check our move direction. Depending of the move direction, we recast on one side or another. So before we recast, let's check if move direction is equal to vector to right, so left, so from left to right. Then okay, let's create this before the if, and then delete this. Okay, let me delete this text here. So if we are moving left, then we recast on the left side, The direction is down, the length is 1. Okay, else we copy paste this here. We copy paste this instead of left, put right here. Now we check if we are colliding with nothing. We check if we are colliding with nothing. If it's nothing, then um, let me check 1 second. Unity raycast 2D uh, trigger. Let me see if it can interact with triggers. Raycast hits triggers unless you turn off that in preferences. Physics 2D uncheck. So let's go to Physics 2D, File, Project Settings, Project Settings, Physics 2D. Where is it? This is not important. Where is it? Where does it say raycast? I don't see. Let's uncheck controls. Query starting query. Okay. So we'll disable triggers. So it only interacts with the platforms. Hopefully it will not interact with the player. Let's go back to the script. So if you're colliding with nothing, then it means we are on the edge. We reached the edge, and if we reach the edge, we want to change direction. So move direction is equal to minus move direction. We change the direction. Okay. We also want to flip the sprite handler. Flip x is equal to minus sprite handler flip x. Sorry, it's a bool, so not sprite x. So basically the opposite value. So if it's true, then becomes false. If it's false, it becomes true. Okay. This line here is if you want to visually see the array. We don't need this. Hopefully, let's comment this. Maybe we need it later. Okay, so we change the direction, and this should run for while the object is while the stain is alive. Okay, let's save this in a variable just in case. Call routine raycast call routine equal to start like this, and now we have it in a variable. Since this is true, it will run forever. Now let's see the shell mode. Let's first let's put here yield turn now, just test, see if this works correctly. So we enter the walk mode for 2 seconds, and then we enter the idle mode for 1 second, and then we enter the walk mode again for 2 seconds, and then we should pause for let's let's create the shell mode. So we enter the shell mode. We first stop the movement. The velocity is 0. Let's make sure it's 0. Then the animator bool set bool is shell. I think it's called. Let's check. Is shell okay? Is shell is true. Then we wait a certain amount of time. Say instead only say wait no. Wait for seconds. 2 seconds. And then after we wait, we want to return to one of the modes, idle or walk. Let's randomize, I guess. Let's randomize. Let's create a you'll also learn something new here. Let's create a float random value is equal to mat random dot range, and this can be either see you have two modes here. See, you have two options, either for float or for int. We'll use the float. Let me check that again. So inclusive and inclusive. Okay, we need a value from 0 to 2. Now this is 50-50 basically, the probability. If this value is smaller than 1, then we want to return to walk mode. Walk mode. Else we want to return to idle mode. And when we do this, we also want to stop the animation. This shell is false. Okay, so let's test this, see if it works. Let's check the recast first. We change the direction, seems okay. But we also need to flip. We flip it. Okay, seems okay. Let's test. We need to modify the speed. Let's try 2 for now. Okay, we have a problem here. The variables nil object. Okay, we need to assign this here like this. Now we should not have this error. See, it has some problems. I see it had some problems. Parameter issue does not exist. Let's start the scene again, see where the problem is. Okay, is working. This shell does not exist. The right into room voluntary shell. It's also, let's look at the animation. Where is it? What is the hit animation? This one, no loop, and also this one. And it seems that it fluctuates from, it's in an infinite loop here. Let's draw the ray to see to be sure. So increase the counter by delta time. Okay. Ah, okay. I see. I see. I see. I think this needs to be here inside the if. Connect this. See, there is a problem definitely. Okay. I see. Okay. Let's look at this. This is obviously the problem here. So increase by time delta time, and if the counter is bigger than the duration, which is 0.2, we reset this. The rate length is 1. Um, if the direction is left, we recast left. If it's right, we recast right. Then if the collider is null, we change the direction, and I think we need to wait here. Let's wait here a certain amount of time. New wait for seconds 0.2, just to be sure we don't enter an infinite loop here. Hmm. Let's look again at the animator here. It's correct. Also, I see another problem. We don't enter the shell mode for some reason. Okay, I think we'll stop for today and we'll continue next time. And I will try to solve this, and next time I will explain what was the problem. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for coming. See you next.
Yeah. Thanks
We'll meet.
for teaching.
We'll meet Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the same hour.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
See you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks. See ya. Thank you. Bye.